It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Panthers and the Giants. And it comes your way next.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. Brandon Gaudin here with Charles Davis. And CD, you look at our two quarterbacks in this one. Each of them, in his own way, was something to prove, you'd think, for 2021. Sam Darnold of the Panthers, Daniel Jones of the Giants.
And Brandon, I'll tell you, the word fear comes to mind because we know that fear is a great motivator in this league. Fear of losing your job, fear that you don't have it anymore, fear that your backup is really playing well and coming for your job. Your current situation may not work out. That often inspires guys to better play. Let's see if we get that in this one.
Longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
On first down, Darnold. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Here's Christian McCaffrey. His pops was a Giant for 3 years.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Able to slither by. And he'll get up. Spotted at the.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. on first. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. A gain of 4 left.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Panthers. Tommy Tremble, 44 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. In both locker rooms, the coaches talked about setting the tone early. Didn't matter whether you started on offense or defense. In this case, the team that had the ball first did exactly that. Took it right downfield and scored. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and, of course, take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off play action. Jones. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
And another thing that makes a comeback really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done. Direction at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Darnold.
He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 39, Darnold. For Marshall, that's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Darnold on first down. And his throw is incomplete. The intended receiver there, Ian Thomas. And that'll bring up second down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Darnold's throw pulled in by Marshall. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Second down and goal. Darnold. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll make it third and goal. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's third and goal. Darnold from the gun. Escaping the... And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Sam Darnold taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try too early for panic.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now Jones to throw on third down. Jones hit and the ball's out. And the Panthers have recovered. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Sam Darnold and the Carolina offense set to take over here. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Gonzalez out now to try the Panther field goal. Gonzalez's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And New York set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Here's Jones throwing on 1st down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Jones, and he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. Back to throw. Jones. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Now he'll escape to his right. Got a man, it's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Come on, man.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Looking to throw. Jones. Out to the right here to Shepard. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Carolina. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled into 20. Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Yetur Gross-Matos. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
2nd and 16.
Another try after the first down sack. Jones dancing to his left.
And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
But they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
They'll go to Barkley again. Shifts past him at the 45. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down at 4.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Able to avoid him at the 40. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. McCaffrey following the penalty. They juked him. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 45 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Darnold.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Let's go. Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Now it's Darnold. And he's got it. Touchdown.
Tommy Tremble.
A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jones to Barkley on the check down. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Good job.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And he will have a Giants 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
Here's McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Darnold. And this is incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Here's Darnold. He's got it for a Panther touchdown.
Terrace Marshall
there to make the grab. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Operating from the gun, Jones. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. From the gun, Jones. That's complete to the tight end, Akins. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL than just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Throwing, Jones. And that is incomplete. The trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Now Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
The Giants on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 29-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll look to throw again. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Looking for the end zone. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And he's got it as the score is now 31-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle made by Blake Martinez. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.